Welcome back. Let us continue with the third application question. Now let us read the scenario below and answer questions that follow. That is the instruction. We have Lihle Fashion Bags. Lihle Fashion Bags manufactures modern ladies' handbags. Grace is an employee who always discourages others from producing new ideas. Mason, the supervisor at Lihle Fashion Bags, fails to make decisions on time. Then we have the first question, which requires you to identify two types of difficult personalities displayed by Grace and Mason, and then motivate your answer by quoting from the scenario. So one thing you should know about identifying difficult personalities is that these people are difficult, but it doesn't mean they're doing misconduct. For instance, if you can check Mason here, Mason is a supervisor who fails to make decisions on time, but is there, he comes to work on time, so this doesn't have to do with misconduct, and you cannot recommend issues such as Mason has to be dismissed. It's just his personality to say this person fails to make decisions on time. And then when you're looking into Grace, Grace as well is not doing any misconduct, but Grace is just a person who discourages others from producing new ideas. So this is their personality. They are just negative. So you have to learn how to deal with the personalities. Hence, here we're talking about business role, to say what is your role as a manager in making sure that you keep everyone performing in the workplace. Now, identify the two types of personalities displayed by Grace and Mason. Let us try to answer that one. Now, Grace is an employee who discourages or always discourages others from producing new ideas. So Grace is a negative or is showing negative personality. Why are we saying that? Because I'll only focus on writing the key aspects, but you should know that you should write everything as it is. Grace, what we see from the scenario is that Grace discourages others from producing new ideas. Then we have Mason. Mason is a person who fails to make decisions on time. Therefore, Mason is showing which personality? Indecisiveness. Then we'll just quote the idea that he fails to make decisions on time. Fails to make decisions on time. So that is how you are expected to identify and also motivate by quoting. As you can see, the quotations are taken from the scenario as they are. So make sure that you quote the complete sentence so that you do not get to lose your marks. Now, the second question is to recommend two strategies to deal with each type of difficult personality identified. So which personality did we identify? We identify a negative personality. How do you deal with that as a manager? Be firm with the negative personalities in the workplace and do not let them draw the supervisor into their negativity. So these are individuals who say, but this is not possible, but this is going to be expensive, but we don't have resources to. So basically they limit the creativity of the business. So do not allow them to draw the supervisor into such energy. Now listen to them, but do not agree with them because they are negative. Even if they have effect sometimes, they will not be considered because they are always negative. They're not looking into the success of whatever that is being brought into the business. Sometimes creative ideas don't look easy. So with a negative personality around, then it becomes even more difficult to try and implement such ideas. Then we have Mason now. Mason is indecisive. He fails to make decisions on time. So how do you deal with such? Guide them through the alternatives. Make them see alternatives. Make them agree with some of the things so that he can make decisions on time. And as a manager, you need to stay in control and emphasize the importance of deciding, because their problem is now with deciding on the best option. So with that being said, I've showed you how to deal with such questions if they are to come for assessment. So be able to do so, and remember to say what is key is to always note your keyword, because if you have failed to identify the correct type of personality, then when it comes to this question which requires you to recommend strategies, you'd be basically giving strategies to a wrong type of difficult personality. So make sure that you quote and identify the correct personality so that you become on the safe side. So with that being said, let us take another short break so that we will wrap up our lesson after.